What if you could feel virtual reality and not just see and hear it? Well, if you've ever used any of the current generation of headsets that are for VR or AR, such as any of the Samsung or MetaQuest or Apple Vision Pro, you've probably thought to yourself, well, this is really cool that I can see and hear what's going on in this situation, but I don't get to feel this thing that I'm holding or that I'm picking up or interacting with. Well, there's a company called Aferense that is working on fixing that issue, and they already have prototypes. This is bonkers, so let's talk about it. Hey there, welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. Let's jump right into this. So this company, Aference, has this product they are calling the Phantom Glove. Now, it's not really a glove. It looks more like this, I don't know, weird looking thing that kind of wraps around each of your fingers and kind of down around your wrist. And what it does is it interacts with your body directly with your nervous system. The creators of this company that are working on this product are world-renowned experts in the field of prosthetics. So imagine a person who loses an arm or a leg and they're able to put that on, and imagine what this technology could do for them if they could feel what their prosthetic hand is touching. So these guys decided to use their expertise to try to put this technology into virtual reality and augmented reality as well. So when you go to touch something in space, so let's say you're using the Apple Vision Pro and you're typing on your keyboard that they showed in the Apple presentation, you would be able to feel the keys as you're striking the keys. Or if you are going to pick something up and that's in a demo, you would be able to pick that up and feel what it feels like. You probably already know that the brain and the nervous system works and you feel things through electrical impulses that travel from your nerves. Like say you're touching something with your finger, it travels from your finger all the way up to your brain. Well, they are able to send those electrical impulses to your brain. The current prototype was described by one of the guys using it as feeling almost like little pinpricks currently, like when your hand falls asleep or something like that. But they are working on a catalog of how to reproduce different feelings, because obviously if you are picking up an ice cube, you don't want it to feel like you're touching fire. I mean, it wouldn't make any sense. You wouldn't want to pet a dog or a cat in virtual reality and feel like you're touching a cactus or a porcupine. Current haptic feedback in phones and game controllers use vibrating motors, but as you know, those don't produce the most realistic feeling as you are touching something. So you touch a button as you're typing on your phone, it doesn't really feel as if you are touching like pushing a button on an actual keyboard. They're aiming to make things feel more realistic when you're using the Phantom Glove. Another cool feature is that your fingers are still exposed, so you could still feel real things in the real world when you pick them up. Now, I haven't personally been able to use this thing myself, but one of the reviews that I saw, the guy was saying that it was really cool to get that feedback when you went to touch or pick something up in virtual reality, and you just, even though it's not perfectly realistic yet, it still gives you some feedback, and he really liked it. So I try to be pretty balanced when it comes to optimism versus pessimism. So I try to be pretty balanced when it comes to optimism. Why can't I speak right now? Come on. All right, here we go. Gonna do better. So I try to be pretty balanced when it comes to optimism versus pessimism. And with this particular piece of technology, I have to mention a couple downsides that I thought of immediately. One of them is that it has become a problem in our society of people spending too much time with their technology and not interacting with the real world, not touching grass, as they say. So I could see this technology potentially just exaggerating that problem, exacerbating that problem. Another one is maybe not quite as likely, and is a darker thought. So I apologize for that ahead of time, but I was wondering what some dictator in some other countries could potentially do with this. Now, if they can make you feel different things, potentially maybe they could make you feel pain, and let's say they could not only put you in prison, or in some countries where they cane people or do torture tactics and things like that. Well, in this case, they wouldn't even have to have a person to do it constantly. They could hook a person up to this computer program that just gives this person this pain sensation, and it just loops. And so I apologize for that picture, but that is a potential downside to this technology. Just trying to be real here with my thoughts on this whole thing. I have to say that the upsides of this could be astounding, because just imagine what it could mean for a person who has a prosthetic arm to be able to reach out and feel the glass that they're trying to pick up with their prosthetic hand. Also, think about long distance relationships. Before telephones, it was just letters. And then telephone came along and people could hear each other. And then you had later on, more recently, you had things like Skype and FaceTime, and people can at least hear and see each other. Well, now this will add a whole nother component to that, where you can imagine people being able to feel like they're holding hands. Imagine if they had this instead of just gloves, they had it for other parts of the body. Maybe you could hug each other, you could kiss each other, and make it, to feel like you're doing that in real time. That would be pretty darn amazing. I think this could also be great for training scenarios. Imagine training somebody for paramedics where you have to know the exact amount of force to put on somebody's wound as they're losing a lot of blood to keep them from losing too much blood. If you don't put enough force, they're going to lose too much blood. If you put too much force, you can cause damage. So there's a certain amount of pressure that you have to keep, and this could be used to help train people to know exactly. They'll have that muscle memory. Okay, this is how much I need to push in order to have that right amount of pressure to save lives. All in all, with the scenarios that I just mentioned, as well as gaming and virtual tours and things like that, I think this thing is going to be just awesome. So let me know in the comments, would you use this thing? Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.